Chapter 2, Mishnah 2. A man can become a Zav only through discharge that results solely from a disorder of his reproductive organs. If any other stimulus is involved in causing the discharge, he is not a Zav. Our Mishnah discusses what these other stimuli are. In 7 ways, we check a man with a Zav discharge to see if the discharge was perhaps caused by something else, in which case it would not count as a real discharge of Zav. This applies before he becomes attached to Ziva, i.e. before he becomes Tameh as a Zav. These are the 7 things that we check. 1. We look into his food to see if he ate too much, or if he ate foods that can cause a discharge, such as fatty meat, milk, cheese, or eggs. 2. And we look into his drink to see if he drank too much, or if he drank old wine. 3. We look into whether he carried a heavy load. 4. Into whether he had been jumping. 5. And into whether he had a general sickness. 6. And we look into whether his seeing an attractive woman might have caused the discharge. 7. And into whether his thinking about relations with a woman might have caused the Zov discharge. The Mishnah explains that these last 2 things are independent. If he thought about having relations even though he did not see a particular woman that aroused him, or if he saw an attractive woman even though he did not think about having relations with her, either seeing or thinking can cause the Zov discharge. Another Tana says that discharge can be caused even by lesser types of arousal. Rabbi Huda says even if he simply saw animals, beasts, or birds mating, and even if he saw only the colorful garments of a woman, we could attribute the Zov discharge to that external stimulus. Another Tana says that any eating or drinking might cause the discharge. Rabbi Akiva says even if he ate any amount of any food, whether bad or good, or even if he drank any amount of any drink, we can attribute the discharge to that. He can become a Zav only if the discharge occurs on an empty stomach. They said to Rabbi Akiva, there will not be any Zavim if so. If any eating or drinking can cause the Zav discharge, then it will be almost impossible for a man ever to become a Zav. He replied to them, you are not responsible for making sure that there will be Zavim. As the Mishnah said, these 7 checks are necessary only before the person has become attached to Ziva. However, once he has become attached to Ziva, i.e. once he has become a Zav by having a second discharge that is not caused by something else, we do not continue to check him should he have any additional Zav discharges. Rather, his subsequent accidental discharge, i.e. discharge that might result from any of the 7 things listed above, and a subsequent Zav discharge about which there is a doubt whether it results from his earlier discharge of semen, are Tameh as regular Zav discharges in any event, because the matter has legs to stand on, i.e. it stands to reason that since he is already a Zav, this subsequent discharge is real Zav no matter what caused it. The Mishnah now goes back to discuss the general rule of checking a Zav in 7 ways to see if his discharge might have been caused by something else. If he had a first discharge of Zav, we check him to see if it might have been caused by something else. When he has the second discharge, we also check him to see if that second discharge might have been caused by something else. However, when he has the third discharge, we do not check him to see if it was caused by something else. There is no point in checking him because, as the Mishnah said above, once he becomes Tameh with the second discharge, any discharge after that is Tameh as regular Zav, even if it was caused by something else. Another Tana disagrees. Rabbi Eliezer says even when he has the third discharge, we check him to see if it might have been caused by something else because of the offering. That is, although I agree that a third discharge caused by something else is treated as a regular Zav for Allah of Tuma, only a third discharge that is not caused by anything else will make him a full Zav to be liable to bring an offering.